Happy New Year and welcome to the first Food and Loathing of 2026. And I'm super excited about that because it's the first and it is guaranteed to be the very best episode of the year so far.
How convenient is that?
It is convenient given the timing. I do
Opportunity,
like
you take it when you can.
You can, man. When you got an automatic win, you take the W. They don't ask how, they ask how many.
Yeah, which hasn't been that many for you guys down in Vegas lately.
Oh, don't get me started. Okay, quick intros. I'm Al Mancini, feeling a little bit under the weather today. And the worst part about the fact that I feel like shit today, we're recording, by the way, on New Year's Day. I don't feel like shit because I was out partying on New Year's Eve. It's because I've been fighting off a nasty cold, and that's why we didn't record this yesterday. It used to be you wake up New Year's Day and you feel like shit and you're proud of it because a lot of drugs and alcohol and bad decisions and walks of shame went into that feeling like shit.
You earned that shit.
I did not earn my shit this week, but you guys are all going to be stuck with it, and that's okay. Gemini Stevens also not at her best today, so she sends her regrets, and we will be carrying on without her. And this is very fly-by-night the way we're recording this, given my recent ickiness. But look, we have stuff for you. It's going to be good, and as you can hear, we have Rich Johnson on the line, and that's awesome. That doesn't happen very often. Happy New Year, Rich. Welcome back to the live part of this show.
Thank you. I don't have a lot of Vegas-centric, but I'm 3 weeks away from coming to Vegas for a week of revelry with guys to visit the ex-house and visit the ex-wife and hopefully visit a couple of restaurants along the way. Barbo or High Stakes. I'm still torn.
Okay, well, I was trying to figure out where we should do a Food and Loathing and Neon Feast dinner.
Or the new votes? Yeah.
Okay, those are your votes. Okay, cool. I'll keep those in mind for when you're in town. Dude, it's the new year and it tends to be dead in Vegas during this holiday season as far as any official news goes. Luckily also we haven't had a lot of emergency news this year. I can remember how many times people decided to die on Christmas or New Year when I was at various other news outlets. I can't remember never forget people like somebody, I think it was James Brown or somebody that died on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Somebody really big died when I was in the middle of a 36-hour New Year's party. Which, if you're in the middle of a 36-hour New Year's party, you know what that means. You are not suitable to go on air.
Yeah.
And getting yourself back, it's kind of like that scene in, the pilot movie where he was drunk flying, but he saved the plane and he had to go testify. And right before he has to go in front of Congress, they call his drug dealer to get him all like psyched up so that he can sound sober.
Denzel Washington,
Yeah, that was me that year trying to get on the air to announce this guy's death. It was ugly, man. So luckily, no sad holiday news that had to snap me out of my illness. My stories get so much less fun as time goes by.
Oh, yeah, also, but you've got anger to make you feel better.
Yeah, I was thinking about ranting about a few things today, making this more of a Festivus episode. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just channeling the what's going on in Washington, D.C., where we apparently celebrate the holidays by calling people scum, which is all I've been seeing on the news. No, but I mean, like, I may go in that direction if it's good enough for people in charge. I'm not going to call anybody scum, but I am pissed off about a few things today. As you said, the Vegas Golden Knights have blown 2 early leads in the past 2 games. I'm a bit cranky about that. I am very unhappy with the city of Las Vegas today. I was kind of not the guy jumping down their throats, but I'm pissed at them today about parking. People always love it when I get on their side about parking. I'm on the verge of ranting about the shitty paywall at a certain newspaper, but honestly, after the dog shit way, and in my opinion, the sleazeball way that paper treated me last year, I may end up not doing that. I don't know. I don't need another lawsuit. So anyway, so we have Al being pissed off, which that could be fun. But before we get to that, man, let's be positive. It is the new year. I am very, very thankful that I made it through a great year. My year went incredibly well. Let's say I made it through a year, and it went incredibly. That's what I could say, and I'm here and I'm surviving it. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
None of us are dead yet.
Well, that's it. That's people ask me how I'm doing. I say my body's still above ground and I'm still above water. Writing in slightly black ink. So, I mean, when that happens, you got to say thank you and be
Yeah.
thankful. So, I am really thankful, and we have a lot of great news to go at today. So, those of you negative people, you'll have to hang on for a while to get to my negativity. We have a really cool interview coming up with Robbie Cunningham of Guerrilla Pizza. I've been teasing that for about a month. So that's coming. We also have Andrew Morgan of Happy Hour Vegas. We're going to be talking to him about Chinatown, and then we're going to do some news. But we'd like to talk starting about where we've been eating. Rich, I know you haven't been in Vegas, but any good meals, any good, I don't know, anything you could tell people that might excite them and get their tummies rumbling.
While you rant about the Golden Knights, I will show you my sweatshirt I'm wearing, my classic Oregon Ducks Donald Duck sweatshirt, which just came in handy because I just came from with my best friend watching the Ducks shut out Texas Tech to advance to the semifinals of the college football playoffs, and we made a great scrambled egg with cheese and smoked salmon and some pepper bacon I got at the Pike Place Market. So that was wonderful. The Pike Place Market, of course, is my favorite place on the entire planet Earth. And went to a couple places there.
So how frequently do they throw those fish when you're not
way
taking
too much.
pictures? Is it only when they're taking pictures, or do they still actually do it as part of the gig?
It's part of the thing because, the fish is all out front, and so there's a guy there. So when you buy a salmon, he picks it up and throws it to the guy behind the counter who wraps it up and marks it and weighs it and makes you pay a lot of money.
When you go there to shoot a TV show and you want a shot of that, I can tell you there's like usually 100 other people that are lined up to get that shot that are that are shooting some TV show or some Instagram video or some
and
whatever.
They usually have a stunt fish. I actually don't pay all due respect to that and what it's done for the market and attracted people. That is Pike Place Fish. I go about 100 yards down to Pure Food Fish, which has been around since the 1920s. They treat the fish with respect. And the crab and the lobster and the scallops and everything else, and 4 different kinds of smoked salmon. There's also City Fish, and there's the Jake's Fish Spot. There are 4 fish markets in the market. They're all wonderful. You always go around. I was actually looking at Dungenness crab prices because the commercial Dungenness crab season just began yesterday as we record. So it means the $24 a pound whole cooked crab from Alaska is going to go down to about $12 to $14 a pound once the stuff from the Washington and Oregon coast starts coming in. So I'm looking forward to having a nice big crack fest at my house soon. The good kind of crack fest.
I mean, I'll join you for any kind of crack fest you're having.
I only have
make sure you invite the right people.
So the guy, I would say, other than he's 20 years older, the James Trees of Seattle is a guy named Tom Douglas, who has about a half a dozen or more restaurants around Seattle for the last 30 years.
I think that's a fair thing. I've been trying to come up with people that I would compare James Trees to, like in other cities. I've said Mark Vetri in Philly and et cetera. And I think that's a good example.
Yeah. He has a place in the market called the Mr. Fish. It has a couple of other names over the years, but I had a beautiful combo of 1 piece of cod, perfectly fresh cut, hand cut French fries, and their clam chowder for like $24. Sticker shock, as I've mentioned before, has really hit me hard in Seattle, but that was a good value and a good bargain. I will go back for more of that. Tai Tung is Seattle's oldest Chinese restaurant. It's been around since 1935, which surprises me that probably there were older Chinese restaurants, but not continually in operation because Seattle, one of the first magnets for Chinese people coming to America. I had classic chop suey, and it was exactly that. It was reminded me of childhood chop suey, and it was very good. But about halfway through, I asked the server, "This is wonderful. This is exactly what I thought it would be, and all that. Can I have a little chili oil, please?" I put that on there to get just a little bit of
you made it perfect. Can I now make it more perfect?
Yeah, exactly. So that was great. Banh Mi. I was yesterday. I went to a Vietnamese place here in my neighborhood on Lower Queen Anne Hill, and I'm just sort of kicking myself. I've done a lot of, a fair amount of Vietnamese, some of the stir-fried things, and a lot of pho over the years. But for some reason, I just never felt like having a sandwich when I went to have Asian. And finally, about 4 or 5 months ago, I finally said, "Okay, give me have a banh mi," and I went, God damn, what have I been missing all these years? And I had a wonderful banh mi yesterday, along with some Dungenness crab, crab rangoon at the,
Yep.
I even forget the name of it, or here in the neighborhood, a couple of Vietnamese places. So I'm going to have a lot more banh mi's to make up for being an idiot for a
Yeah,
few
I mean that the
decades.
seasoning that they put on banh mi is fantastic,
Yeah,
and
it gave me a little shot.
yeah, and of course you have to use that perfect that French baguette, which is the
Yes.
key to making a good banh mi.
There were some
And
good things about colonialism after all.
well, I mean, down okay. I mean, we're
I mean,
going
that's,
that way. We're going that
no,
way as a society. I don't
maybe
know,
not.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that's the combination of French and Asian together is just wonderful.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is, for those who don't know, the French had colonized Vietnam for a very long time, and they brought a lot of fantastic
Yeah.
culinary traditions, and that's why. Just to give a little plug, by the way, your cat is making an excellent contribution to the
Isn't
show. I
he
wish,
just, yes, the notorious
what
BGC is just a loud motherfucker.
Yeah, no, we love him, man. But what was I going to say? Obviously the French being in Vietnam, that was a lot of influence, and you really find that. And there's a good part of the story behind Jamie Tran, one of our good friends,
Yeah.
Jamie Tran, who of course is a TV chef, and we have her at Black Sheep here in Las Vegas, and she's Vietnamese heritage, and she went to French cooking school. And then suddenly realized how much of French things that she was learning had already been in her mother's cooking, right? And I
Wow,
think
yeah.
that was a really fun thing to think about because you don't always put Southeast Asian cuisine and French cuisine together, but there is a huge connection, obviously.
Yeah, a couple of other things. I had a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner with the family on the Trask River on the Oregon coast at the family cabin. There's 2 cabins now with 2 hunks of the family. Yeah. Are we done with
you guys are turned into the Waltons or something?
Oh, something like that. Metropolitan Grill is a place that's been around here for 40 years. It is the up in probably one of the more expensive steakhouses in Seattle. It looks a lot like Capitol Grill or even the steakhouse at Circus Circus. Dark wood and green tufted leather booths. And I had it was a Friday's prime rib special, like $40, and it was wonderful. I also had a steak and a onion soup on a previous visit, so Metropolitan Grill might be my hangout if I could afford it.
Yeah. If you like that kind of steakhouse, you are going to love High Steaks when you're in town, man.
Yeah, I do.
That
like
is the
that once
vibe
in a
there.
while. And one last thing, when I was in my neighborhood Safeway, there was a big bin of Dubai chocolate bars, all marked half off. I think we're done with Dubai. Hopefully, that's the sign we're done with Dubai chocolate.
It's amazing how quick food trends can come and go, but also at how quickly the industry has learned to fucking cash in while they're hot.
Yeah.
It's like something pops up on social media, and next thing you know, it's in every fucking 7-Eleven in America, and then we're bored of it immediately.
Yeah, and then 6 months later, gone. Nope.
And I mean, that's speed.
Coffee.
That's capitalism at warp speed, if ever I've seen it.
Yes, indeed.
Man.
So that's my deal. Here in Seattle.
Well,
and again,
great.
Looking forward to being in Vegas last weekend of January.
Well, we are looking forward to having you and getting the whole team together and actually being in real life person. So hopefully we could do that. Couple quick ones. Sue and I spent a little time sitting around the bar of Nico's Steakhouse at the Durango Resort. It was during their golden hour, their happy hour. So, like Sue's got a beverage, I'm chilling out. We're like, let's have something to eat. So I did a really, really good order of burrata. And a nice one really large ball and another small ball of the cheese with a hazelnut pesto that was so fucking good. Grilled sourdough. They actually pickled the tomatoes and they just popped the little tiny cherry tomatoes, just popped burst with flavors. Lots of other great items on that menu. I know Andrew Morgan is our happy hour guy, so I'll leave that to him to explore more deeply, but that's a great place to go. Nico's Steakhouse at the Durango Resort. On Christmas Eve, I went to see a movie. I went to see Song Sung Blue. And we went over to the Orleans to see that. I'm not going to tell you. I'm a Neil Diamond fan. You put Neil Diamond music in a movie, I'm gonna love it to fucking death, whatever. And it was a fun movie for a lot of reasons. But this is not a movie review show, so I won't bore you with that.
I respect that.
You respect that. Something you respect for me is not saying something for once. Right? Not uttering every thought that goes through my mind. dinner, when you're over at the Orleans, man, it had been so long since we'd been into Big Al's Oyster Bar. And in the old days, Sue and I used to get at the Orleans a lot, say like 2003, 2004. Big Al's was there. Used to go there all the time for pan roast. Loved the place. A lot of nostalgia. We're there on Christmas Eve. Had a fantastic pan roast. Their shrimp and grits. The grits are a little bland. Stick with the things they do right. Stick with the pan roast, and Big
Oh
Al's Oyster
yeah.
Bar will never, ever, ever do you wrong. And it
I
also heats up real well in the middle of the night.
I recall when I was first in Vegas, and I found Big Al's because I live not far from the Orleans, and I loved it. And I always think it's one of the least appreciated, underrated oyster bars because Station gets all the big press with its oyster bars all over the place. And then for some reason they stopped doing pan roast for a year or two. Like
Big Al stopped doing pan roast?
yeah, like 16, 17, somewhere in there. And then,
Well,
of course,
somebody
they
was
brought him back
smoking
because
crack
everybody
that
said,
year.
"Well, if you don't do that, I'm out of here. I'm not here, not going to be coming here anymore." So they brought
Yeah.
him back, and I always love those. Yes.
And one day I want to get get one of our food historian friends over at CityCast and explore the history of the pan roast because it does have a really interesting history to it, but I'm not going to
Ooh.
dig into it. But yes, so anyway, Big Al's really cool. We went over there, had a good time. Always check them out if you're catching a movie and get a pan roast. Christmas dinner itself was at William B's in the Gold Coast. Went over there with the Cashel Reese family. They're great friends. We have a little bit of a holiday tradition of doing holiday meals with them. They were kind enough. They were the first people to take me out in public when I was recovering from surgery, and it was a New Year's Eve dinner, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day dinner about 4 or 5 years ago. And I barely could move, and they were kind enough to deal with me. So we try to keep that tradition alive now that I'm a little healthier, and it was fantastic. They're great friends. William B's is a really, really great steakhouse. There's so much happening right now at the Gold Coast. I think they're looking over their shoulder at the JW Marriott, which had a tremendous year of really renovating its program. And they're like, well, we're keeping up over here. And William B's, of course, is about a year old now. They just redid Dupar's. They've got their oyster bar, which even has a dollar oyster night over there one night of the week. But our meal was just fantastic. Like hot roasted seafood tower we started at. Sue and I decided to do steak. We went very old school. We did a porterhouse. I always like to do the filet. She always likes to do something a little heartier. So a porterhouse is a great way to go. We mixed that up. Some wonderful mac and cheese. Luckily, Mary and we both decided we wanted sugar snap peas as a side dish because you don't see them that often, and they're so fresh and light, and man, I love it, and they do them perfectly over there. Some mushrooms, a massive banana cream pie for dessert. It was like a slice of pie. I don't know what they cut this off of. I was told by chef that Scott Robin loves that dish, and we loved it as well. So,
there you go.
yeah, there you
Say
go.
no more.
So that's 20 Helens agree or 30 Helens agree, whatever that old
wow.
routine was.
Kids in the hall. Homage. Wow.
Yeah. I did a little work with Andrew. I was recording the happy hour report, and I went over to Wino to do a little work afterwards and just sat there and sipped on some non-alcoholic wine and had their sausage rolls, which are well above and beyond what you would expect. Wino is a wine bar with food from celebrity chef Sean McLean. It's in the JW Marriott. It's their second location. The other one's over at Uncommons, and this one's bigger. It's just as good. The food's fantastic. Great wine and even whiskey selection over there if you're interested. And this was really a gourmet sausage roll, some shredded cheese on top, toasted sesame seeds, and IPA cheese dip. Just lots of good stuff. And again, as I said, JW Marriott really had a great year last year. They added so many restaurants. I'm in the process, if we take a little side note, we always talk about the stories we're writing over at other places. And I usually write a monthly report for LasVegasAdvisor.com. I decided at the very last minute, this is probably what got me sick because I just worked like through the night trying to get some of this shit done. Decided at the very last minute I was going to do a 3-part report on where restaurants went in Las Vegas in 2025. And I separated into the Strip, casinos, neighborhood dining, and then the one that's about to drop next is going to be off-strip casinos, because I think off-strip casinos were a huge story in 2025. I think all the way from Station, who has always had a fantastic program at all of their casinos, they even went back and really turned things up over at Boulder Station, right? So they are doing a top to bottom, always rehaul, reconfiguration of their restaurant game. And that was evident. But then in Summerlin, we saw what happened at JW. We saw what happened. What I told you is just starting to happen over at the Suncoast. Off-strip casinos are very, very happening right now. James Trees is at one. And I think that is one of the big storylines of 2025 that I didn't see anybody else talk about. And I
Question.
think, yes.
With all this stuff at the JW Marriott, is the name Rampart going away?
Yeah, they sent a press release. There's some new name thing about that. And if you
The
give me
resort ad or something like that?
yeah, it's going to be one of those deals. So, I mean, I just hope it stays a JW Marriott Resort because I do
Yeah.
like that brand. I mean, I'm not, trust me, they don't give me any money and to do anything with them, but it's a brand that I like nationwide and internationally. So I do hope it stays there because they've got a lot going on.
Having lived and may have again lived near close to those two, the Rampart / JW Marriott and the Suncoast, it just does my heart well to see those both upgrading. I am looking forward to seeing the new improved Dupars when I'm back.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I mean, at this point, it used to be like when I would do Neon Feast, I divided into neighborhoods, and the neighborhood that I had over there was called Boca Park Tivoli Village because all the good restaurants were in Boca Park and Tivoli Village. But I think that the casinos are now have as much or better to offer than those two places, plus gambling and movies and all that other shit, right? So,
Bingo and bowling too, yeah.
Yeah, I find it hard to call something bingo if I don't actually have to mark the cards. Bingo plays itself anymore in Las Vegas.
And that's the only way I can play it. I would just slash my wrists if I realized I'd failed to dob one that was bingo. And inevitably I would. So the computerized way is the only way I go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I used to like getting wasted and just like jabbing them and doing all that. It was fun, man.
There's no worse humiliation though than calling out bingo with a hand dab thing and being called out for fucking it up.
Yeah, I know, but you got to be wasted to enjoy that part of the game too.
Love that humiliation intoxication combination.
Oh yeah,
situation.
I've been there many times. So where does one go for New Year's Eve dinner? And I almost canceled this one, but we had booked it in advance, so I rallied, and I'm so glad that I did. Ada's Food and Wine. And they, of course, the new location, they have moved this James Trees, more experimental of all of his restaurants, out of Tivoli Village and into the Arts District. So one less reason to go to Tivoli Village, one more reason to go into the Arts District. It's in the old Esther's Kitchen space. So for me, that's really nice just to be back in that space. I mean, I was in there dining pre-opening with James at the bar and arguing over carbonara. I sort of blocked that memory out. I'm sure I was an asshole, but I do remember that part of it. And I've been going to that place for so long, into that room. And when he moved Ada's to the new space, of course, the new space is beautiful, but a lot of us missed that old room. So now it is the new Ada's Food and Wine, which has always been my favorite James Trees restaurant. It's now in a location that has so many great memories with me. I could not skip that, having already prepaid for my dinner. And it was a $65 prefix menu with options in each category, right? It's 3 courses, very simple, about all I could handle last night. They started off, they brought us out some bread with the onion jam, which was fantastic. Sue's appetizers was mussels and coconut milk, which was great, a little citrus spritz in there. I had a fantastic grilled maitake mushroom appetizer with a miso fondue and some garlic chips. I hate the word umami, but it's hard to say if the word umami actually has any use in the English language. Many of these dishes deserve that label. Sue had halibut with harissa carrots. Fantastic. I had a tagliatelle with lemon cream and pecorino. That was excellent. I don't do a lot of lemon pastas or even citrus pastas, but it was really good. It was a nice bright change of pace. Again, really hit the spot for where I was last night. Sue had a good, huge chocolate dessert. I kept it super calm. I wanted my tummy to feel better. I wanted everything to feel better. So I did a nice oat milk panna cotta with apple and cinnamon, which was just like crawling into a big
Wow.
Sunday morning with the family, just like melting into comfort, and it was a really wonderful dish. But
Oat
the
milk,
place,
as in totally dairy-free panna cotta?
I believe it was. I believe it was vegan, if I'm correct. I think that's what they
Wow.
told me. Yeah. So, and you double check that one for me. I tried to check that one online today, and it was not in the it was not on the online menu, and I didn't take a picture of the menu last night. Again, a little under the weather. So, but it really, really good. But they know that I don't settle for just the nice, simple things that I ordered. And, Jackson Stamper's not going to let me leave without sending me on a mind fuck of a mental adventure. So they brought out the Tellagio tart with sour cherry
Cherry.
on the top. I cannot speak today. But Tellagio cheese, are you familiar with it, Rich?
Never heard of it. No.
Okay, so it's what they would call washed rind cheese. Washed rind
Yeah.
cheeses to me are the funkiest of funky cheeses, right? Like,
Uh,
an Epois would be a washed rind cheese. So they are not dessert cheeses. These are stinky for people that love funky cheese, and they made like kind of a cheesecake tart out of that with sour cherry for the sweet component, and it was fucking amazing. You don't
Wow.
order this necessarily for your child for a sweet dessert. This is a dish that should be enjoyed by people that like for Jackson Stamper to take them on the journey that I love. As I say about Ada's all the time, I don't like every dish I've ever ordered there. I haven't liked it to the point that I would order it again, but I've been happy that I ordered every dish that I ever ordered there, because even the ones I walk out not loving, I love the way they make me think while I'm eating them, like, and they take me on
Yeah.
just a mental adventure, and it is a
After
fantastic restaurant, better than ever.
after all these years, that is the place you can go to still learn something new.
Yes, absolutely, and it's always fun. I am keeping my poor wife waiting now. She went out yesterday. She went over to the old Lemon Tree Market, or over in the Evora complex, and she picked up their last tin of caviar. She got some
Ooh,
eggs and some creme fraiche. So I'm getting a caviar scrambled eggs right as soon as we finish this. So I'm very excited about
nice.
that. But hey, why not, man? Let's rant. Let's make this Festivus. People have been talking about parking in the arts district. Every arts district business, all of my friends, all the people I love down there are mad as fuck about the new parking rates. It's $3 an hour on the meters now to park there. And most of the lots are metered, and it's basically the same price everywhere. Some are more. I don't know of many that are less, but the city owned lots all went up, and everybody's mad. And I believe that was a doubling. I think that was up from $1.50 an hour just a month ago, and maybe a buck an hour not all that long ago. So people are pissed. Now, I have been backing off of this because much to the dismay of a lot of my Las Vegas friends, I moved here from New York City, where parking, you had to like leave a kidney as a
Oh,
deposit if you
yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
park
yeah,
a
yeah.
car, right? So, like, parking fees are something that I just roll with the fucking punches. If in New York, the idea was if you're rich enough to own a car, you're rich enough to park. I know that's not the deal here in Vegas, but that's my mindset. So I never bitch about parking. And I'm $3 an hour, okay. I'll fucking live with this, right? And I have not ranted. I have not. I've been so pro. Yo, City of Las Vegas, mother guys, if you're listening, and I like their PR people over there, City of Las Vegas, if you guys are listening, I've been on your side so far about this, but I've had it at this point, because for the second time, I got a ticket after paying for my fucking parking. And once it was partially my fault. Last night it was not at all my fault. The first time it happened, I parked. I went in to do an interview. I came out. I had a ticket. And I'm like, what the fuck? I've got this text confirming that I had paid. I look at the ticket. It's a ticket because I didn't have my registration sticker on my license plate.
Oh, well,
Now,
you would have gotten that one anywhere then.
I would have gotten it anywhere if anybody had pulled me over, but I don't think anybody would have pulled me over for the sticker if they ran the goddamn thing and saw that my car was registered. My car was fucking registered.
Now, if you
Okay.
don't have the
I was
sticker on, they're still gonna nail you. You
Yeah,
gotta
that's fucking
stick on the
bullshit.
sticker.
And that is not the truth, because if you fucking okay, this is me being a bit of a Karen, but last night I was not a Karen. But
That's
here's the
okay.
deal, Rich. Let's talk about this shit. You pay online, they mail you the sticker.
Yeah.
It doesn't always come in time. I was registered at the time that I parked that fucking car. The sticker had not arrived. And if they had entered it into their fucking little parking device, they knew that. And they still gave me a ticket. This is where I'm saying that's the kind of thing you can fucking let slide when people are already mad at you about parking.
All right.
But I didn't say a fucking word when that happened because I'm like, okay, I didn't put the sticker on it. I'll argue this in court. Nobody wants to hear Al rant. I'm still going to be pro everybody, blah, blah, blah. Last night I pay for 3 fucking hours. I'm in the restaurant an hour and a half. It's fucking raining as shit outside. I come out. There's this sloppy mess of disgusting fucking thin paper stuck to my goddamn window. I can't even look to see what I got the ticket for because I got to wait till it dries out. And it was for expired parking. The time on it was right in the middle of the 3-hour chunk of parking that I had purchased. I have the receipt. They texted it to my fucking phone. So what I'm going to say is, if you cheap ass motherfuckers in the city of fucking Las Vegas want me on your goddamn fucking side to say it's okay to pay to park, then don't be ball busters and fuck with the people who do pay to park. Because now I'm not on your side anymore. And if you want to bring somebody down on my podcast, and I'll go into my very polite broadcast voice, and we'll bring a couple of the people on that own restaurants down there who have stronger opinions than I have, believe it or not. I'd love to have a debate on this topic because you were making it unpleasant to go to the fucking Arts District. And I have seen the fucking Arts District grow from when it was virtually nothing, and I was banging on pots and pans to get national media to go to the fucking Arts District to enjoy themselves. And I don't want now that you got a little bit of fucking success, I have to tell people, oh, the Arts District's great, but parking's a pain in the dick. Okay? Way to kill a good fucking thing, city of Las Vegas. Stop being douchebags. And if you think I'm being uptight, get on the fucking show and tell me about it.
All right. Questions. You have the receipt showing that the parking you had parked till, say, 8 o'clock, and you got a ticket at
6:45 to 9:45. I got a ticket at 7:45.
And you have the records of both. You have the physical ticket, and you have the number. If you can't read it, you can look up the number. And you have
I'm not paying it. I'll get out of it. I'm a lawyer. I know how to get out of it, but fuck that. It's aggravating. It is fucking aggravating. Hire motherfuckers who know how to read the time.
And that is separate from the rate at $3 an hour. Still a bargain compared to going to the Strip or any other place that charges for parking. But yeah, that is a stupid ass pain.
How could the system even do that? I mean, what the fuck kind of computer system has me in is paid for that time? And then fucking, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to have to read it. Maybe I entered one digit of my license plate wrong. I don't think so because they check your license plate. But whatever the fuck it is, it's like, come on. I'm not a complete and total moron. I'm not going down there wasted like I used to in the old days. I know what I'm doing. I'm fucking paying your goddamn bills, and you're giving me a fucking stress every time. And to be honest, if my fucking thing had been expired the first time, I wouldn't mind. But you got it. You at a certain point, it shouldn't be a money grab. You still want people to come to downtown Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Maybe you just make it, oh yeah, okay, he didn't have his sticker. We could get him for that, but clearly he's registered. Why be a douche about this? Right.
Yeah. Now, did you you didn't fight that old one? Because I figured if once you got the thing in the mail, you would have an envelope with a postmark on it to say, and a receipt for the paying, and you can say, I paid for it on this day, I got the ticket on this day, and then it showed up on this day.
Yeah, I mean, I think I still have a little time to fight that one, so that's why.
All right, fight that one. Bring it back. Report back to us.
Okay, that pisses me off. Also, while we're bitching, and I try not to say nasty things about the Review Journal because, God, they give me more and more and more and more and more every fucking day of my life. But and not the people, by the way, that write there. Love every single one of them. And so don't take this as this. But speaking about paywalls, I have 2 subscriptions to the Review Journal. I still get hit with a paywall every fucking time. And now when I try to log in, it tells me, well, you have 2 subscriptions under this email account. We don't know which one to log you in under, and it won't fucking log me in. I'm paying. These people fuck me. They sued me. They try to put me out of fucking business, and I'm still buying 2 subscriptions, motherfuckers. And actually, I won't say they tried to put me out of business. They sued me in a way that could very well have put me out of business. To say that
their cookie system, their cookie program, to use the word I hate so much, seems to be a little effed up.
Yeah, it's beyond effed up. It's been effed up since I worked there, and I was defending them. It's just fucked up. All the people I say nice things about, fuck me in the long run.
Oh yeah, I had a subscription for a while until a couple of other things happened, and I dropped it. And the woman every 6 months, hey, would you like to resubscribe? It says, I know I have 3 words to tell you why I'm not subscribing. Wayne Allen Root.
Yeah, well, that was a good reason.
And the funny thing was the woman said, "Yeah, I understand. Thank you for
no
the
shit.
time."
Well, I mean, seriously, like, I'm so grateful that I worked there, and I will never say anything bad about my time there. I chose to work there. Anything that was negative, it was well worth
Yeah,
it for the
understood.
experience that I had, and I so never said any bad things. And then the legal issues we had last year, I was just really, it's some of the people in upper management that just did what I would say done me dirty on a personal level. And if you want to sue me again, then we'll talk about that in court. But I think done me dirty is a term I could defend. And and even despite that, I have 2 fucking subscriptions because I believe in local journalism. And yeah, fuck, see if I
I
can
would,
cancel
yeah,
those.
I would strongly suggest maybe you drop one of those and pick up the Nevada Independent from the excellent John Ralston for, 10, $15 a month or whatever he wants for
I
that.
don't have an independent subscription, and I should. So that's a good
Yeah.
point, man. That's a good New Year's resolution. And by the way, to all the great writers at the Review Journal, I love all of you and every single one of you. It was a pleasure to work with. It's just another one person that I knew over there
Yeah.
got fired again. So it's
God,
keeping
oh
the
dear,
people
yeah.
around that are any fucking good.
All right.
Um,
It's a Festivus miracle.
It's a Festivus miracle. Bring out the pole.
And the
Coming
Hungarian.
up.
No,
Do you
no.
think anybody even knows Festivus anymore? We're such fucking
Oh
old
God,
men
yeah.
here.
Here in Seattle, I ended up doing a story about that. To be sure, it's still a thing.
Okay, cool. Coming up in the news, a story about Huddle that beer lovers will want to hear, and that'll be following our happy hour report from Andrew Morgan focusing on Chinatown. But first, we have our long overdue interview with Robbie Cunningham at Guerrilla Pizza.
This is Food and Loathing.
So I'm sitting here in the brand new Guerrilla Pizza brick and mortar in downtown Las Vegas. I'm sitting here with Robbie and Steve, and I don't think we're open. Robbie, are we open?
We are open. It is a slow morning today.
Okay, cool. I wasn't quite sure whether it was open for business, but I mean, it's beautiful to be in this place. I love what you've done with it. I've come into here since it was the original Good Witch, by the way, everybody. And the big exciting part here is that, of course, Robbie is back in Las Vegas with Guerrilla Pizza. Last we spoke was opening at the Hard Hat, I think. Frank Sidoris' opening night. Was that like 4 years ago?
Yes, it was. It would have been late 2022. So not quite 4 years, but pretty close. Last time we talked, he and I had taken over the Hard Hat, and he has been leading it since and making it an incredibly successful, beautiful establishment.
And then you decided to get out of town for a little while, correct?
That is correct. So we had to shut down for renovations back in 2023. And when we did so, I went to Michigan, went back to my home state for the summer, and got to live out a little dream living near Torch Lake up in northern Michigan for the summer, and came back to reestablish myself and not hop back into the pizza. So I walked away from the Hard Hat, but we got Stay Tuned Burgers in there, and I think everybody's very happy with how that went about.
Yeah, the Hard Hat is doing very well with Stay Tuned, but so many people were excited to have Guerrilla back in Las Vegas, and you've got a little bit of a backstory. Rather than me tell it, why don't you give the history of Guerrilla Pizza and why it has such just a strong following here in Vegas, other than being one of the very few people that does great Detroit and great vegan pizza?
Yeah, so Guerrilla Pizza essentially started as a fever dream in 2019. I was bartending at the time at Artifice, and there was no food, and I was messing around with pizzas at home, and one thing led to another. I was bringing them into work because we didn't have food, and feeding some of my regulars, and they were like, Robbie, you should start selling this pizza. And I came up with the idea to start giving it away for free. All you had to do was share it on your Instagram, and I delivered it to you for free. As long as you lived within a 1 hour radius or 1 mile radius of downtown, I would make a free pizza for you, deliver it to you. All you had to do was share it on your Instagram, and it kind of blew up. And so in 2020, I was reached out by the Hard Hat Lounge to take over their kitchen when when the pandemic started to ease up a little bit and the bars started reopening. Gaming was going to require them to have food for them to reopen, so they reached out to me and we made something happen. And I opened October 1st, 2020, and was there until April 2023, slinging the best Detroit-style pizza in Las Vegas.
There are a lot of people, very few would argue, people that know Detroit pizza. I know there are a couple other good contenders in this town. I'm not going to talk about them right now, but it really is a style that Vegas, for the most part, has shied away from.
Yeah, I mean, there are some people who are doing the Detroit style, who've done the Detroit style. I've inspired a couple of places that are finding some good success with their Detroit style pizzas, which I'm very proud of. But at the end of the day, I'm the only Detroiter in Vegas making the thing. So at the end of the day, I find that we have the best success and have the most authentic product, because at the end, I'm creating what I feel is an all-star pizza of my favorite pizzerias back in Michigan. So at the end of the day, I'm just really creating something off of my memory, and something that only I can hold on to, my palate can hold on to, whereas like a New Yorker, they know New York pizza. Detroit style pizza is more so something that they know about, but they don't know like I do. So
before we sit down, we should talk about how we got you back here, how we got you back into downtown Las Vegas. I think we need to tell some people who may not know what Detroit pizza really is, what Detroit pizza is all about. I think it was John Arena who once told me, and John, if I'm wrong, I apologize. If this is not correct, then John didn't tell me. John only told me if this is right, I can guarantee you. But that it almost comes from people making pizzas out of like the auto part pans that were like lying around in Detroit. But whatever it is, it's a deep dish. It's very different than Sicilian. How would you describe it?
So, yeah, the history of Detroit-style pizza is Gus Guerra, who created the style, was essentially making his grandmother's Sicilian pizzas in pans that he had seasoned. He basically had a connection with the auto industry and would get these old parts pans, would season them in his ovens, and then bake Sicilian-style pizzas. Now, the way that his family made their pizzas was cheese all the way to the edge of the crust, or the pan, and then stripes of sauce on top. And then they would put the toppings on. Now, in Michigan, there's a lot of different places. Some places will put toppings under the cheese and then sauce on top. A lot of places will put sauce under the cheese, like a traditional pizza. But the one thing that stays true with a Detroit-style pizza is oil in a seasoned pan, the dough proofing into it, almost like a focaccia or like a Sicilian style, and then cheese all the way to the edge, covering the entire pizza, so that you get this nice two-tone crust where half of it's dough, half of it's crispy cheese. Yeah. And then the sauce on top, the sauce on top, the sauce underneath, that kind of always ranges on the pizzeria. But the one thing that stays true is the cheese all the way to the edge of the pan.
And more importantly, at least for somebody like me, the way that it seeps in there between the crust and the edge of the pan, and we just get that amazing crisp that, even though I prefer Sicilian for the most part, yeah, that crispy cheese to me is really what marks great Detroit pizza.
Yes, yeah, that, and you must have a crispy bottom, lightly fried, but it has to be soft on the inside. You should be biting into a pillow that's just a little crispy on the bottom.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, that's the same thing where you're looking for when you decide to go out and get Sicilian. You want that focaccia. You really want it. You want it to look heavy, but feel light as air when you pick it up.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, so we're going to talk more about what you're offering and all that here, but I want to get to Steve. Steve, remind me your last name again. I'm so sorry.
Mardirosyan.
Okay, awesome. I would have fucked that up. I'm just, that's just me.
I just figured out how to say it. I'm 50 years old.
It's okay. I say my last name wrong. People always go, "Oh, it's Mancini," and I'm like, "Well, yeah. If I was really Italian, it would be Mancini, but it's really not. We were kind of just phoning it in with our Italian in my house." So, Steve, how'd you get it? You're a partner in this return to Las Vegas here in the Soho Lofts building, by the way, is where we are sitting right now in this spot that used to be the sandwich shop, Goodwitch. Yes. So how'd you get involved with Robbie?
So I bought the hard hat in 2021. That's how I met Robbie the first time. and purchased the property and the business. And then Robbie reached out to me just to introduce himself because he was working with the previous owner as a landlord. And we ended up having a beer and just talking about things. And him being from Detroit was an instant connection. I hadn't tried the pizza yet. He invited me back to make a pizza, made the pizza, and I fell in love with the pizza, fell in love with Robbie. It became a younger brother, older brother kind of thing that we started doing. And then I was just telling him, I bought this bar and I'm looking for someone to help me operate it. He introduced me to Frank. He said, me and my friend been wanting to open a bar. So we made a deal and they purchased the bar off of me. I remained their landlord, and I remained a big fan of their everything they were doing. Pizza, the business. I was happy that they were bringing young blood, young people back into that area. I thought it was a gem. I couldn't even believe I even had the opportunity to buy that place, but it happened. These guys came in, they remodeled it, made it younger, hipper, cooler. I'm an older guy, but I still went around. I felt young, I'm
an old guy too, but I'm a dive bar fan at heart, man, and that place makes me feel young.
Yeah, it's great. Everything about it. If anyone knows about the mural, the story of the mural in there, I'm sure you do. It was painted 60 years ago, 70 years ago by a alcoholic artist. It was one.
Aren't they all? Same as writers, basically.
So, anyways, it's a great story. I was just happy to be a part of it. The two best guys couldn't have taken it over. It was great. And then seeing Robbie in that small kitchen, I started early talking to him about expanding. I have some other properties in town. We talked about some of the other properties. And then we just kept in touch. I wanted to do something earlier, but Hard Hat was his commitment. And then when he decided to take a break, I talked to him about it again, and we kept in touch while he was in Michigan. And then when he came back, he called me and said, I'm back, let's do something. We started working on it. We had a few other spaces that we were going to do, but this place came up. I called Robbie. I said, meet me at Soho Lofts. We walked in. We called Sam Cherry, our landlord, and said, we'll take it. And that was it. Wow. That was 2 months ago.
2 months, man. That's a quick turnaround. Sorry, and I'm just making sure that, we're still working here. Okay, cool. Got to check my equipment every once in a while. This area where we are in Soho Lofts, it's just kind of like a half a block or a partial block set off of Charleston. What is Hoover the cross street, I believe? Yep. Hoover's the cross street. This is a part of downtown Las Vegas that's always kind of slipped through, nobody knows what to call it, right? It's not really near the Fremont East area. It's not really the Arts District, but it seems to be catching on. I walk around here now, and I see a lot more young people. I see a lot more hip people. It's not just the lawyers going out for a cheap lunch kind of deal like it once was. Either one of you guys, how do you feel about this neighborhood and how it's developing?
I feel like the neighborhood's great. The Arts District used to be, they thought this was going to kind of be where it would go, but then of course where Rebar is and Main Street was how it ended up going. But I think we're in a unique spot because how incredible is it to have a Las Vegas Boulevard address? That right there is like an achievement. And very cool, big part of our legacy there. But our pizza is so in demand. I believe that we can help boom this area a little bit too, whereas everything over on Main Street is now just all tapped in. Everyone's locked in. There's still so much more opportunity. So we're still close to everything, and we have a giant parking lot across the street. So hoping that, we get to play an impact on the growth over here too.
Okay, so you saw what Robbie did at Hard Hat Lounge, and with no disrespect to you, no disrespect to what Frank has done over there, no disrespect to the people that kept it running for 40, 50 years as an amazing dive bar. No disrespect to any of them, but still, it was the middle of motherfucking nowhere, and Robbie got people to get out there. Does that give you a certain level of confidence that he is a destination restaurateur?
Yes, that's why this area didn't scare me one bit. The fact that it didn't have walk-by traffic, there's no foot traffic. The parking lot is huge. I mean, the front parking lot is actually free for the first 3 hours. Parking lot you have to pay, but parking is difficult in any of these downtown areas.
And getting worse right now. It's very a hot topic.
Just paying for parking sometimes is harder than finding the parking spot. So you find it, and then you got to figure out how to pay it. Half these apps don't work. So the fact that we have all of that going on, but you're right about the destination part of it. Like you said, when I first toured Guerrilla Hard Hat before I bought it, it was, nothing against cigarette smokers. I used to be one, but people sitting at the gaming machine smoking cigarettes, nothing, no excitement, just a regular old gaming bar with some good food. If young people did go there, they were going there for the pizza. So I truly believe he put that it could have been on the map years ago, but maybe it hasn't. It had its day. There was other bars in the area that people were frequenting for drinks, not having to deal with cigarette smoke and things. Robbie got them to come back for the pizza, and then they would stay for some drinks. Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing not everybody was gambling, right? Oh, yeah. And then when they took it over and we talked about the whole gaming process, because it takes a while to get gaming. I remember where we were when we talked about it. I said, maybe it's a good thing to shut gaming down for a year, turn it into a cool bar, because you guys are young, you guys frequent cool bars, and you have the food. And it ended up working out because it ended up being a great bar, and then when they added gaming, it just got better. So it's definitely a destination. That's why it didn't scare me to be off the beaten path. I think we're fine.
Yeah, I think, and it deserves to be said, and I don't know that anybody's ever said it, in many cities, a good restaurateur can help revitalize a neighborhood. And if it doesn't help revitalize it, can at least remind people that a neighborhood is there. Las Vegas, we haven't seen that many that are attributable to one really good person going down and do things. You could think about Latai back in the old days. Yeah. You could think about James Trees in the Arts District. And I think that what you did to remind people of that little weird part of town that the Hard Hat is in, halfway between Naked City and the Arts District and all that other stuff, man, you really did help people rediscover a neighborhood.
Yeah, that is I don't know how to respond to that, man. I'm very proud. I'm very proud and honored to even be talked in the same sentence as James Trees and and Latai, and so I'm honored, to be honest with you.
Well, I think that does need to be said. As a matter of fact, when I go on CityCast this week, I'm going to try to remind people of that. And if I don't, sorry, I might have forgotten. Okay, before we go, I've got to talk about your vegan pizza. Okay, Diana Edelman, a good friend of mine, Vegan's Baby, she just fell in love with when you started doing vegan pizza. She was probably your greatest champion in the world. Yeah. You're not exclusively a vegan pizzeria. No. When I go in, I'm generally not going to get vegan stuff, but you do have fantastic vegan stuff.
Yeah, so my whole philosophy on the menu and for Guerrilla Pizza has always been for everyone, no matter your diet or whatever your restrictions are, to be able to come in and have the same experience as your peers. I see so many people, one person, people come in, one person orders a pepperoni pizza, other person orders a vegan pizza. Having those options there's no difficulty to it whatsoever. All I have to do is carry vegan cheese and I can make a vegan pizza. And I just care a little bit more. I use separate utensils so that there's no cross-contamination. I just give a shit. That's it. And I think that's what's going to help Guerrilla Pizza go to that next level, that big level, especially with all of the pizza. There's so much chain pizza competition, but I think that's what sets us ahead of them, is that I want as many ingredients as possible to be universal for the sake of the ability to feed everybody, no matter their diet. For instance, I'll make an example. I've been working hard on our Greek dressing for our new Greek salad. Every Greek dressing that I sourced had egg yolks in it. What the fuck do I need egg yolks for? Right. For a Greek dressing? I could easily emulsify it through my skill set and work on something and get the same product without needing egg yolks. And now I have a vegan Greek dressing. And we don't go about boasting vegan this, vegan that. Like, I obviously would let you know we got vegan sausage and stuff. But again, for us, it's just about having these options and then excelling at them. And then every time we do a specialty pizza and we do other things, it's about thinking about not so much about the vegans per se. Like, we're not trying to just try so hard. We're just trying to be conscious and considerate, if you will. Again, I don't want to source a product that has one thing in there that has dairy or egg in it if I can have an alternative that doesn't. Right. You know, so that's really it. But our vegan food definitely smacks. Our food is awesome. And yeah, if you're vegan, please come on down, because I guarantee you we have the best vegan pizza on the planet. And I will compete for that title.
Okay, maybe we'll put something together. I don't know. I think Vinny Rotella may want to go up against you on that one. So, Vinny, if you're listening, brother. Okay, so here's my
challenge.
So here's my question. Every time I remember, and by the way, I'm an old man. I forget things sometimes. So if I'm getting something wrong, you let me know. Every time I remember having your pizza, it was kind of in a personal pan size over at Hard Hat Lounge. I believe Red Dwarf, whenever I get it over there, I think I get my Detroit over there in that size pan. I believe at Super Frico, when I get my Detroit, it tends to come in those small size pans. You going to do large family size pizzas, or are you going to stick to personal here?
We're sticking to personal. I find that you get a little bit of a more consistent product. We don't have to have different size pans all over. We don't have to worry about any of those things. Also, you know, if you're from Detroit, if you're from Michigan, you've grown up on deep dish pizza, and everybody knows that corner slice is the best slice. Nobody wants a middle of the pizza slice. So for us, it's just about, again, experience, and that's just another part of the experience is making it personal to where one pizza can feed 1 to 2 people, but if you have quite a few people, everybody's getting a corner slice. So like even places like Jet's Pizza, they do a 4-corner, 8-corner, or they do their large pizza, and the 8-corner is literally just 2 small pizzas in one box. So we're just like, you know, we'll just sell you 2 pizzas in 2 different boxes.
Cool. So what else do we need to know? What's maybe new on the menu here that you weren't able to do over at Hard Hat? And then, you know, are there specialty items that we haven't talked about, or it's just specialty toppings that you love, or, you know, something that you want to be your signature item?
Well, definitely one of our best toppings that you have to try is our house-made hot Hungarian sausage. It's my grandmother's recipe, and it is phenomenal. We use the same exact spice seasonings for our vegan sausage also. We just mix it with Impossible, and you have to try the toom. If you're not familiar, toom is a Lebanese garlic sauce. In the Metro Detroit area, anytime you go to a Middle Eastern restaurant, once you sit down, they give you their menus. They bring out pita and toom, just like the Mexican restaurants do chips and salsa. Mm-hmm. We make that sauce in-house. We toss our wings in it and our tots for our garlic parm. It is to die for. So it's a must-try. And yeah, I mean, all of the top. Oh, the salads. Salads are new. We didn't have salads at Hard Hat, so we have a Caesar salad, the best damn Caesar salad. We have a Greek town salad, which is a delicious Greek salad. We have vegan feta for it, so you can get it vegan. And then we also have a house salad, which is a traditional salad. So we're kind of just going with a traditional pizza chain menu that's just a little elevated and a little bit more delicious and in the flavor town.
Okay, so when are you open? What are your days, hours, all that kind of stuff?
The hours are 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and then 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. Friday, Saturday. Okay, cool. And
what's your preferred delivery service of choice?
We haven't set those up.
Yeah, GuerrillaPizza.com. Okay. If you go to GuerrillaPizza.com and place your order, we will deliver it to you as long as you're within a 10-mile radius. You will pay the same price that you would pay if you were to come into our restaurant. However, the company that we go through grabs a DoorDash driver to deliver it for us. So you basically get the benefits of a DoorDash service, but do not go on their app and order it. We will be on there soon, but everything will be more expensive on there. So order through GuerrillaPizza.com and you will not be dissatisfied.
And then, when we get you on Neon Feast, which I have no doubt you will be eventually, then we can talk about hooking up the reservation button there as well.
Absolutely.
Well, look, man, welcome back to the Las Vegas restaurant industry. Very nice to meet you, sir. Welcome back, Robbie. I just can't wait until I'm in here, a couple times a month eating your pizza.
I can't wait to see you in your giant mohawk, my friend.
Hey, it's Rich Johnson, your faithful food and loathing producer. Thanks for listening. And I also want to say thanks for reading. Reading the latest happenings around the Vegas food scene at the website for this podcast, foodandloathing.vegas. That's right, .vegas. That's where Al and Gemini and I summarize some of our favorite podcast interviews and bring you some original stories as well. Also, Bob Barnes serves up his weekly dining and entertainment guide. You'll find rundowns of the Valley's top restaurants, and you can always stream the most recent episode of this podcast. So make sure to bookmark foodandloathing.vegas for dining news. And while you're at it, check our other buddy, Andrew Morgan, at happyhourvegas.com for his recommendations on Las Vegas's top happy hours.
Yeah, I know you are just getting over those New Year's Eve parties, and you probably are swearing that you're not going to drink for a long, long, long time, but it's already January 2nd, and you're going to be drinking by the end of this weekend. You all know it. And because of that, we have our weekly happy hour report. Not taking a break. This is the first one for the new year. We've got Andrew Morgan of Happy Hour Vegas back, and we're excited to have him. Andrew, how was your holiday, and how you doing today?
Pretty good, man. Great holiday. I'm excited for this year. I want to put the message out there. Don't be a quitter. You got to keep eating. You got to keep drinking, man. Come on. That's my New Year's resolution. Get everyone to not quit.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, if you do have to take a break, be a little smarter than I was in my day. But, yeah, I got you there. Don't be a quitter. Keep having fun as long as your body allows. And as long as your pocketbook allows, as long as your wallet allows, or your gold card or your black card or whatever. But one thing that we do to try to make it a little easier is we talk to Andrew every week, because he knows where all the deals are and where all the happy hours are, man. For the new year, what do you got for us, brother?
Yeah, so part of I'm going to be putting this out there in the next couple of weeks, but some predictions, I guess, if you will, or what I'm looking forward to in 2026. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to, as I'm going to share with you today, is these little pockets of awesome happy hours popping up all over town, across the valley. One of them specifically is Chinatown. I mean, there's a million restaurants and a million exciting things to do there, but, Chinatown's not synonymous with happy hour, but guess what, motherfucker? It is now.
Yeah, you don't think, like, on my way home from work, I'm going to swing by Chinatown in Las Vegas, but why the fuck don't you?
Why not, But the funny thing, or the ironic thing, is that there is no Chinese happy hours in Chinatown, but there are happy hours in Chinatown, so.
Give me some examples. What are some good happy hours in Chinatown, man?
You've been to the Golden Tiki.
Yeah.
That's right in Chinatown, with fucking a great happy hour. I think I'm still getting over New Year's. So Golden Tiki's got a great happy hour there. You know that place.
Yeah, I love Golden Tiki. They've got my shrunken head in the back. I think I'm across from the men's room. If you want to look for the Mohawk shrunken head, you'll find me near all the phallic dicks in the men's room. I am yet another dick that they have near their men's room.
Thanks for, I got to follow up on that, right?
So what time do they have happy hour there?
Happy hour every day, 4 to 7 p.m. So no excuse not for you to. 3 hours every single fucking day you can go there, right? They've got obviously the exotic cocktails, only $8 at happy hour.
So a tiki drink for $8 in Las Vegas, and you guys know when it's a tiki drink, it is loaded with various rums.
The Blue Lagoon, the Piranha Punch, $8. Save some dough, have some fun, pretend you're in the Polynesian.
Do you happen to know if the Dole Whips are included there?
Dole Whips are not, but hey, I don't know. Maybe we should ask them, see if they can, make it happen. But they do have coconut shrimp for $9 and crab rangoons.
That's crab rangoon. We've talked about this before, man. Crab rangoon is that New York takeout Chinese thing.
You're right. And actually, we were talking about this, and now we know there's only 2 happy hour menus that have crab rangoon that you could do. That tiki and what was the other one? It's at
I don't even remember.
Taste of Asia at Suncoast.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So
Okay, so there's one. We cruise down there. If we can find a place to park, we go to the Golden Tiki. What else in Chinatown, my friend?
Well, if you want some Tokyo-inspired pizza at 00 Pie and Pub, you could do that in Chinatown. So they've got, pretty cool little happy hour there. I mean, they've got obviously the pizza, but
Why is it Tokyo-inspired pizza in your mind?
that's what it is. That's how they're labeling it. It's like Tokyo-inspired pizzeria.
Yes, the pizzeria, I would say, definitely has a very Izakaya kind of vibe, but it's not like we've got sushi on the pizza or anything.
No. It's down to earth, kind of like your standard pizza.
I
And
should say it's way better than you say. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you
Yeah.
off right here
Yeah.
because this has been chosen as one of the top 50 pizza places in the United States for its first 2 years of existence. So this is a Vegas-born, world-renowned pizzeria.
it is, and 00, right?
Yes.
From the flour. So they're pretty sophisticated in what they're going to put on the table. And I'm a fan of it. And it's a pub. You're getting great beers. And I'm talking a happy hour for like $5-6 kind of thing for a great beer. And obviously the pizzas are knockout. I just laugh because it's a pizza place, it's a pub, it's Tokyo inspired, you're in Chinatown. So fucking Vegas, right?
Yeah, a little bit of everything, man, a little bit. So what time is that?
Good question. I think it's also every day. Let me pull that up. But there's another one that I want to talk to you about. So it's actually 00 is twice daily. So they got a reverse happy hour. So 3 to 6 p.m. and then 9 p.m. to close as well. So $5 for a great draft beer, some good pie. Man, go to Chinatown.
Sounds great. Okay, anything else in Chinatown you want to leave us with before we go?
Yeah, so the last one, of course, going to the theme of Chinatown, but that's not Chinese, is Mexican. Más por favor.
Oh, mas por favor. It's a counter service up front and a cool speakeasy in the back, if I'm remembering correctly.
That's exactly right. A Mexican speakeasy in Chinatown. How fucking Vegas is that? I'm loving this, man. But yeah, look, it's daily, 3 to 6 p.m. Street tacos for $3. Classic burros, $7. Draft beers, $5. Margaritas on tap, $5. I mean, that's a freaking great deal.
Yes, and you can now have pizza, you can have tacos, you can have golden tiki, some cocktails, and honestly, you said this was going to be Chinatown, but these are all three literally in the same building.
Yeah, it's like Spring Mountain is Chinatown, right?
Well, you got to love that because Chinatown, it's hard to drive from place to place because parking is a bitch, but if you find a parking place, and by the way, guys, go around back, there's some good parking in the back, and you can enter golden tiki from the back.
Exactly, and you can stumble from each one, do a little happy hour crawl there, so...
Well, there you go, man. Happy New Year, Andrew. Thank you for joining us. We're going to have you back next week.
Yeah, Happy New Year, guys. Let's get out there and be happy.
And if you need more happy hours, go to happyhourvegas.com. That is Andrew's site, and he's got over 500 of them. Thank you for that report, Andrew. And everybody else, get your asses down to Chinatown. Enjoy some of those happy hours. Not a lot of news this week. Actually, there might be a little more, but it's the holidays, and there's no publicists. They don't send you press releases, and the local newscasters are all on vacation celebrating.
Yeah.
And I mean, seriously, this. Some people may think this is great, but you turn on the cable news networks, and they're all like just pre-recorded shows, right? Like
here's what the greatest things that happened in 2025 in entertainment, in food, in shoe sizes.
And hell, I'm
Yeah.
going to confess, I was feeling sick, and I asked you to do that for me for our radio report this week. So, so we oh, there's that cough. So we recap.
Yeah.
Anyway, a big piece of news. This was actually asked to me last night after we dined. We popped over to say hi to our friends at Main Street Provisions because we had dined at Ada's, and somebody at the door actually asked me, "What's going on with Huddle?" And we had given you the sad news about Huddle Brewing shutting down in December, and they did, and there's problems. But now they've announced that they've struck a deal with Neon Desert Brewing that will allow Huddle to continue brewing its 6 core beers. And as part of this deal, they now plan to reopen their Main Street tap room. But they say it's going to remain closed for a little while for renovations. Once people are around and in town, I will make some phone calls. We will go down to Huddle. We'll chat with those guys. We'll get all the details for you. But Happy New Year's to them. Happy New Year's to all the beer drinkers out there in Las Vegas, because that's good news for you guys. Any other news, Rich?
The 21st. Is that what I'm going to be in town? Let me look. That'll be the big news for me. I'm showing up on the 21st. I'm hanging around till the 28th or so, and I got plans. I'm staying at the Fontainebleau for 2 nights, and then staying in my
Cool.
ex-house the other nights, and go up to Red Rock one time, and I'm looking for places to go for lunch and dinner the other time. So freeloaders delight. That's me. Nah, no, I'll
Okay.
pay. I'll pay, except when you pay.
Who would like to buy Rich dinner? We could play around with that.
There you go.
Oh, okay, man. Look, just a
That's it.
quick reminder. We are everywhere. You can hear Rich Johnson this week on all the Highway Drive radio stations. That is Highway Country, Highway Vibe, and KNAC, which used to be Highway Rock, but they have relaunched the KNAC name over there. So God bless them for that. That's where you get your rock and your 80s metal. And
Yeah.
usually you have me doing foodie news over there. This week you've got Rich doing foodie news over there. You do have me with 2 out of 3 of my Las Vegas Advisor year-enders already posted. The other one going up soon. That's in the non-paywall section of LasVegasAdvisor.com. I try to keep everything I write out from behind paywalls whenever possible. It was part of my manifesto when I left a certain other newspaper, so I'm trying to do that as much as I can. The Las Vegas Advisor people have been kind enough to let me do that. We're also on TV from time to time on the CW Arc show. We're all over the fucking place. You know where to find us. Nothing new about that this year. Just keep listening, keep loving us, keep supporting us. We love you. We'll keep eating, and all of us together are always going to stay hungry. But thank you to everybody out there. Thank you to Gemini for all you've done this year. Thank you to for last year, I can say now. Thank you to Andrew Morgan for being such a big part of the show last year. Rich Johnson, you have kept this thing together for we're going on 5 years now. We're 4.5 years with this motherfucker. We've never missed a week, which is why I don't feel that great right now, but I'm happy to be doing this. And I'm thrilled that Rich, agreed to indulge me while I lashed out about people that, that made me angry this week. Parking. Anyway, so with that, I'm just going to say on behalf of absolutely everybody, I just want to also thank Robbie Cunningham for being here this week, and wish you all a happy new year. Remind you to eat well, always drink well, always tip well, and always stay hungry.